Shit, I'm not talking. I have to start again. You are muted. Yeah. I know. I have to I have to add. I'm so noob at this. I'm so noob. Did you hear me when I changed the scene? Right now, for example. I see there is activity on the microphone. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, nice. Thank you, books. Okay, I go to the... I have just to add the microphone here. No big deal. Okay, there we go. Now we're on. And maybe let's put some music on. Why not? Okay. Okay. Let's go fancy. Where's the sound? Here. Yeah, there we go. Maybe something different. That's cool, but... Let's put something chill for starting. Okay, nice. I like this. Okay. Again, let's rehearse. Welcome everyone. My name is nimlich-san. And today I'm here streaming for you because 2 months ago I've started streaming on Instagram about character design, drawing character design. I was thinking about there is something off because I felt incomplete at the time, because only drawing a character it's not enough when you want to start writing and drawing a story, and that is what this live is all about. I want to draw something. Maybe we won't have the finished product today, but my plan is to go deep in the character design and writing of a story, the creation of a story, starting with simple building blocks and answering maybe some questions about where do I start, what do I have to write, how and why do I have to write, and maybe something I will go improvising, so I'm sorry if the quality of the stream is not at the top right now, but forgive me, that's my first time. So, let's start with the first bullet point. Well, the first thing to say is that characters often suck, and that's why. The first reason why character sucks often, not always, mine sucked a lot in the past, and maybe yours too, is that, well, first point is they're empty. And what does it mean? Well, have you ever heard the say the character is the story and the story is the character? Because that's the reason why more characters are empty. If you look at the global scene right now, there is a kind of writing crisis going on, where there are every time few characters that are well written and well developed, and are like 20 movies on 100, and the remaining 80 movies are shit, because characters are flat, even the ones that have to be round. So, first of all, where do I start to build a character that has a roundness? Well, at the start we have to say that every one of us have that time in their life where they ask themselves, where the hell do I start? Well, that's the question, right? And normally there is let me explain this. Writing, there is a reason why we want to write a good character, and at the principle of that, the reason is we want to write, and that's not something we have to fly over, because maybe we have to start with that. Why we want to write. Okay? So we want to write, if we want to write, because there is a kind of really deep existential reason that is the building stock of what we are going to talk about today. And inside, maybe I can say it in a better way. And inside everyone there is a universe. Every one of us, there is a universe, a self-shaped simulation that is true and unique between the four walls of our mind. And talking about it is the way to let the others know what it's like. But if written, it can be described even better and memorably. Like this sentence, this very sentence I've just shipped, it was in my head and I wasn't able to talk about it fluently, but writing it, it's all a different beast. So, and you can notice the shift in the narrative, because everything I said before this sentence was improvised and was just in my head. But this sentence I said, the one about the universe inside every one of us, it's written, and it was easy to say. It was easy to write it and easy to say. And I can go further. Okay. So, let's add another bullet point. So, the first thing is describe the universe in our head. Let's go easy. Don't be too descriptive. The second thing we have to say is that, okay, but how? How is this possible? Well, let's say writing is a kind of telepathy, like King says. What does it mean? I hope there is people among you that knows who Itachi Uchiha is. This guy is Itachi Uchiha, for the one who lived under a rock for the past 20 years. He's kind of one of the best characters I've ever written, maybe. He is not one of... It's not my absolute favorite in the Naruto universe. It's one of my favorites for more reasons. But if you have a different favorite character, write it down in the comments. If you want, I can pick another image for you. Because this example goes for most of the characters. If you have one that you want to suggest, we can go on and check for it. But sticking with Itachi, giving a very, very, very I will try to give it a very strict description why I'm talking about Itachi. Itachi, Uchiha, is part of the clan Uchiha in the story, and he can use a power, an awesome power called Mangekyo Sharingan, Hypnotic Sharingan. It's an ocular art packed with 3 OP feats that are illusions, probably that's making the reason why it's called hypnotic, a fire that never expires, and a chakra armor. Let's focus on the first, the illusions. Names it's Tsukiyomi, and it's one of the most powerful weapons in all Naruto world. If you look directly in the eyes of the one who is using this technique, this is how it works. If you look right in the eyes of Itachi, not only you can be catapulted in a total different illusory dimension, but you will experience time, sufferance, both physical and mental, as the user prefers, as Itachi prefers, as he likes. You can live 100 years being tortured while outside your body is still untouched and it's only passed like 1 minute. Right, Kakashi? Plus, its user can drop in and pop out of the illusion as he pleased, making it a kind of imaginary world where the rules and the laws abide only to the user itself, and everything he imagines is experienced as real by whoever is attacked by this technique. Okay, and for everyone, for every one of you that already understood why I cited Itachi, that is what all this tangent is about. Writing, the good one, serves both the writer and the audience, Itachi and its torturee, as a tool to surround them with the writer's world, to see what the colors, the architecture, the characters, the laws of physics, and more look like. The more the writer is skilled in delivering a path with words, the more the audience will be able to enjoy the story. And I'm not talking strictly about how the character of Itachi was written, because that would take a whole live only for this, but taking only this thing about him, the thing that he can create, a total alternative universe just using its mind and making with his power making his his opponent living in this alternative dimension. This is the way how a writer should write its story. And I tell you what, there are no rules in writing. You want to rob someone of a theme, a character, an idea that can help your story to be told. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do whatever you need to. At the end of the day, we are all meat machines fed by our own imagination and driven by demons. And these demons tells us, wow, that's a good idea, I'll take it. That's what you have to do. If you don't have if you have anything to write about. So if you want to write a story, you'd better be prepared not to have morals that block your creative process. We don't need them. So instead of keep thinking about why you are still stuck with an idea that doesn't want to have a shape, try using some reference. Retelling is a good way to start, and that's what we are going to do today. So describe the universe in your head. Use strong, figurative language to evoke the setting of your story. Okay. So if you want to talk about, okay, there is this example. I can cite this example that is it was written by King. There is a room, and in this room there is a large red table. On this table there is a fat rabbit. And on its back it's clearly evident the number 8 written in blue. Everyone who listens or reads this sentence can immediately draw in their mind this room and the details of this room. I'm not describing the walls, the thing hung on the walls, another kind of table with a glass. No, a specific table in a room that feels empty and small. The table is red, so we can use our inner world to paint this table in red and separate it from the background. And then there is a fat rabbit, so it's not hard to imagine a fat rabbit on the table, and on its back there is written in blue the number 8. And the association with forms and colors make this image come to life in our mind. And that's an easy task to do. So, these are the foundations. But if we are still stuck on, okay, but what do I write about? Because the reason is, okay, you are telling me my characters are empty. You are telling me to write why I have to write, so I have to describe the universe in my head, but my head is a mess. I have to use strong figurative language to evoke the setting, but I don't know how to speak. Do you think I know how to write? Okay, there is no problem, because as I was saying, there is retelling. Tattoo in your brain this word retelling. Let's give it a definition. Retelling is a new account or an adaptation of a story. So when we think about, I give an example. When we think about the myth of the flood, you know, the big flood that destroys the world a long time ago, the first character that comes to mind is Noah, the chosen one of God that built the ark and saved his family along with numerous species of animals. But did you know that he is not the only one who survived the flood? There's almost 10 other stories, some written before, some after Noah's, that tells a similar story, where a flood happens as a result of a divine wrath, erasing most of the species of the planet, and a chosen one or a group of chosen have to survive in order to establish a new generation of humans along with the animals saved. In other stories, they have to say sacred text that explains the next generation how to live, how to create a new society, and you know, different stories, different cultures, but there is in every one of these the flood. It's in the Epic of Gilgamesh, in one of the stories of Manu in the Hindu text, in ancient Greece, China, Korea, South America, North America, Polynesia, and more. Besides, some people think that even these stories are copies of copies of copies of even more ancient texts. So it could be even older. And there are tons and tons of retelling like this, where ancient or contemporary stories are taken, extracted to the context or the themes the author wants to talk about, and rewritten, including their personal beliefs, their worldview, their religion, and in essence the microcosmos that lives inside of their mind. I'm running low on saliva because speaking a lot and in a language that it's not my first, it's very difficult. So let me drink. That's better. Let's go again. So, I give you another example if you want. I can give you another one. And there is a pretty famous one. Yeah, that's right. Another example of this is One Piece. This masterpiece not only as a massive game, it was a massive game changer for the late 90s manga publishing world, which serialization launched the second golden age of Shonen Jump or Shonen mangas in general. But it contains a lot of references to our words, culture and folklore. Even the myth of the flood. I don't want to give spoilers, but if you haven't read it, go ahead, you need to. The references, are told in a way that fits with the theme Oda Sensei wants to talk about, hidden beneath the waves of the characters' dramas, growing arcs and word tricks that the author seems to like a lot, and is tremendously good at it. If you want to know more about this, there is a guy named Luna Piena Art on YouTube, and you can go and check him. He does a very good job translating the original stories from the perspective of a Japanese translator, a Japanese reader, because often more of the translations from the original language lose a lot of meaning, and the word tricks works 100% in the language of origin, in this case Japanese. They work less in English, like at 20% at best. That's why retelling is a powerful tool for a writer. Since we've roamed, still wrong, on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, it's easy to think that all the stories have already been told. And you know what? It's probably true at an extent. The human journey to experience life in the material mortal plane is something that has been described using a lot of themes, characters, events and epilogues, and probably every story is part of a big fat stream of experiences that always tell the same exact story. And this is good. Yes, not only we don't have to be worried about writing something unoriginal, but we have a lot of tools to achieve our writing goal. Isn't this amazing when someone else has already done the hard work for you? I think it is. So, let's add another point. All this goes on the retelling.
Good evening, everybody.
Okay. I want more light. Well, anyway. Okay, then. So, how are we gonna do this? Because this is what we are going to do. We're going to do our retelling right now. Okay. First of all, let's choose a theme. Because the character is the story is the character. Let's write it down. Yeah. Character is the story. Okay, is that clear? The character is the story is the character. You can also read it, the character is the character, the story is the story, but it's dumb, okay? I don't know. Random stuff. First of all, let's choose a theme, okay? So, let's keep it here in a safe zone. This will be the content tray, okay? The serving plate where the different food is presented to the viewer. It could be war, friendship, the growing process. Is the thing you want to talk about. The one suggestion I can give you is don't talk about stuff you don't know. Start with something you have inside that you have experienced firsthand. For example, if you go to school, talk about what happens when you forgot about a test and you decide to do it anyway, keeping your guts together. Or what happens if you think differently from the teacher that you decide to confront them on their same level. If you have a job, talk about the grinding between you and your frenemy colleague. In order to achieve a monthly goal or the pay rise request experience, that is not very good for most of us. By the way, I'm an employee too, and yeah, it's not that good, ask for a pay rise. And these are really simple themes that have almost nothing epic if seen from a daily perspective, but sometimes the easiest things are the most relatable with the audience. Plus, one of the first stories in the most recent times I was working on was a story called the Stalemate Salesman. It's on Webtoon. I've drawn a short webtoon, one episode. It's very short, it's like 4 or 5 pages. And they were all these short. That's the kind of story we're going to do today. A short story, not a long story. First of all, this is the reason why I'm doing this on a live stream, because if you want to do a long story, it's all a different theme. Okay, we can do a long story here right now. We can do One Piece now. Okay, but we will do something. We are cooking. Okay, let's just smell the odor of meat, and let's be inebriated with it. Okay, we are going to do something. I promise. I talk a lot, but please keep your attention, because I have a problem with this, and if I talk too much, write me in the chat, please go on, and I will go on. Or I will ignore you. So, we are going to talk about the theme. So, first of all, theme. Have I written it right? I hope so. Theme of the story. It's the serving plate. This is my serving plate. You will say I'm not an artist because I can't draw a serving plate. Well, I challenge you to draw a serving plate right now. Send me a pic, please. I want to see it. This is serving plate, so this is the theme, okay? And everything on it. So we have, today I had meatloaf with rice. So we have, this is rice, okay, and meatloaf. Trust me, the meatloaf I ate was very, very, very bad and was uglier than that shit I'm drawing. It surely added to this. It was like dog food, but we don't have to be that bad at judging. Okay, that's the serving plate, the theme. Okay, this is the theme, and this is the content we're going to talk about. Okay. So these are, I don't know, characters, stories. I'm talking about the short beginning, development, and ending of the mini situations. For example, if the theme is working in a store, like the story I was talking about before, if I work in a store, the mini story is I'm doing, I don't know, I'm serving a client, okay? This is the mini story. I'm serving a client, so or better, the story of the client. If it's a longer story, maybe there is a client that talks about him. This is the mini story. The main story, the main arc is the beginning, the development, and the ending of the whole written story. So characters, stories, history is better, because there is a world building. So this is all about the content of the play, because the theme will never be really eaten by the reader, by the audience. It's kind of the room where everything is set. I said that you have to talk about something you have experienced firsthand. That's not entirely true. If you want to talk about something you haven't experienced yet, but you have a firm idea about it, well, go ahead. There is nothing wrong in doing so. Maybe you are wrong about your takes and views, and in 10 years from now you will think differently, different things about the same theme. Or maybe you were right all along, because you figured out something on your own before experiencing it, and you can resonate with your audience, like, or better, the people that are waiting to experience that thing. My suggestion, in order to help you, if you are stuck with something that seems mediocre or incomplete, and most of the time is because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I've experienced it firsthand, I know. Because sometimes I want to talk, I wanted, when I was younger, when I was in high school, I wanted to talk about things that are, yeah, cool, but what I'm talking about, I know nothing about this. I can try, and I tried. Some of them I still think them that way, maybe more developed, but the core of it is the same. Other, man, don't make me begin with that shit, because I was fucking stupid. Curses, yeah, I'm cursing. Anyway, let me check one thing. Okay, we're still on. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, I'm checking my streams. Okay, so okay, I'm on. YouTube is going on. Kick is going. Okay, I'm still on. I think I don't see any problems. It's just YouTube that had kind of a problem, but never mind. I don't see it anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, my bitrate is a bit low. Okay. So, going further. Anyway, my theme for today is hope. Yeah, Alright. What do you know about hope? Well, that's the tricky part. I know nothing about hope, or I haven't had in my life an epilogue where I can say there is hope. But hope is a tricky thing, because you can talk about hope even if you haven't realized you have experienced it. Pay attention to this, you haven't realized yet you have experienced it. Because in every day you can experience hope. For example, today my stream has started 1.5 hours later because I had some technical problems, and for technical I mean I was so stupid that I wasn't able to connect one HDMI in the right port. That said, hope never died. I could skip this stream like happened other times, but this time I said no, because now it works, and my hope is it continues to work, it still works, so I can do the live. That's a story of hope. That's a stupid story of hope, but still, it's a story of hope. By the way, obviously I don't want to talk about this in my story. Maybe. What do you say? You were silent for a lot of time. I think there is no one that is watching anymore. Books, are you there? I was talking a lot and you were saying anything, so maybe you're not there. Yeah, you're probably gone. I'm sorry, man, if I bored you. I'm sorry, that's my first time. I can use this justification right now, and I use it. I'm new, so thank you a lot for having written and for having stayed here for more than I expected. So I'm basically talking alone, but by myself, but never mind. So, anyway, my theme for today will be hope. The retelling I'm doing is something in between the story of Icarus and Daedalus, the father and the son who escaped from Crete. Let me pick up a Google image of them. Okay. Yeah. They were escaping from Crete. It's a story of Greek mythology here, using feather wings held together by wax. And the other one is the story of Sampati and Jatayu, two vultures that got separated in a journey back to Earth, which story is told in the Hindu Ramayana, an ancient Indian Hindu text. Both stories talk about hubris and redemption, with a different accents. It's a more famous story in the West, obviously. I live here. Oops. But for the ones who are for the ones who are new to Greek mythology, Daedalus was one of the best craftsmen ever existed, and can I pull this here? Yeah, that guy. As you can see in this probably AI generated image, because it's fucking stupid. There is the there is the maze down the tower where they were held. They're flying, and it seems like Icarus is falling. Oh yeah. I see now. It's seen from above, and this is the moment where Icarus. Okay, this is the moment where Icarus think, oh man, I fucked up. Okay. It's not upside down. It's right there, this way. There is no sea though. below there. And now I will say to you why there is 6. Because I was saying both stories talk about hubris and redemption with different accents. It's more famous in the story in the West, the one of Daedalus, for obvious reasons. And Daedalus was one of the best craftsmen ever existed, besides the craftsman of the gods, obviously. But it was pretty good. I don't remember Hephaestus. It was not like Hephaestus, obviously. Hephaestus built like robots and talking armors, people. He built people, so that's all another word. But yeah, let's say Daedalus was pretty good at his job. And he was an engineer of the ancient world, and his genius was unmatchable among humans. Minos, the king of Crete, made him build a giant maze, the one you see here. And at the center of which he hid his cursed son, the Minotaur. I know someone says Minotaur, I don't care. If his father is named Minos, then it's Minotaur, because this is where the name Minotaur comes from. That's easy. I don't remember. I think it's Minotaur, the bull of Mino, but I'm not sure about that. When the maze was played out and the Minotaur killed by Theseus, the famous story of Theseus, we don't go down this this story of Theseus. Theseus was one who killed the Minotaur and was able not only to kill the Minotaur but to save himself and his pals exiting the maze. Minos thought that Daedalus betrayed him, and so he imprisoned both him and his son, Icarus. Using bird feathers, probably, if I remember right, he was using feathers of birds that nested near the window of the tower. And walks. I don't remember how he took walks. Probably was a walks used to pack letters, because it was the only thing he could do, if I remember right. So every time he used walks for the letter, he took a little piece of walks for himself, plus the feathers, and done. He built 2 pair of wings for him and his son. One for him and one for his son. And together they jumped off the window of the tall tower where they were held and flew towards the isle of Sicily in Italy. They were pretty close to Italy. They were free until mannaggia te, Icarus. That happened. Yeah. Icarus, not following his father's warnings, flew so high that the sun melted the walks that kept the feathers together. He fell in the sea below and drowned. Arriving in Sicily, Daedalus made a grave for his son, with no body apparently, but he made it anyway, and built a temple dedicated to Apollo, the sun god, and hung the wings, promising he would never fly again. On the other hand, the story of Sampati is a little bit different. Aside from the setting where the 2 enormous birds, probably vultures, probably of divine nature, were flying in space from the celestial planets, residents of the highest beings of the universe, the events are quite similar. During the flight, Jatayu, the youngest of the 2 birds, it's always the youngest because it's the most reckless, flew too close to the sun, and Sampati, knowing what was about to happen, hugged him in its wings, trying to protect him from the sun's fire blast. As a result, Sampati wings... Oh yeah, I can pull up an image of them too. Cliffhanger on the Sampati wings. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's a kind of a depiction of the moment where probably Jatayu saw Hanuman, the bird. Oh yeah. The bird, yeah. How is it called? The monkey man, the Vanara. Yeah. We can pull up this. That's kind of it. So what happened? No. That's not what happened. There were no incests in these families. Well, I can't pull up it because everything about. I'm sorry if there is anyone from India that is watching. I don't think so, but man, if everything about India imaginary is cringe. What the flick flaming? Yeah, that's pretty dumb. There is nothing about them that is not. Oh man, that's so cringe. That's so awkward. Yeah, we can pull up this because this is no. Well, anyway, I don't want to waste a lot of time on this. Let's surrender. There is no cool image about Jatayu and Sampati, so we go with this. That's kind of how I imagined it. I imagined how that's a video. I don't think I can pull up this, so let's go with this. Okay, so do you see it? Yeah. So that's that's a scene. Now I will come to this. So yeah, there is space. Yeah. We have the armies. We have the correct armies. There is a space over there. There is. Oh yeah. There are those. So we are cool. So we were saying that they were flying back to Earth after something that happens on the celestial planets, and Jatayu the younger was flying too close to the sun, and Sampati the older brother, knowing what was about to happen, hacked him in its wings, trying to protect him from the sun's fire blast. As a result, Sampati's wings were burnt to ashes, and the blast made the two birds fall to Earth. They got separated and they will never be united again. But their stories will realign in a kind of redemption arc. So after Jatayu fought against the BBG of the story, and for the one of you who doesn't know what a BBG is, even I think there is no one there listening, and if there is no one, there is no one on Earth left that doesn't know what a BBG is, but I will explain it anyway. The BBG, and I write it here because it's important. BBEG is the big let's pretend that was a Google. It's the big bad man, I'm tired, evil guy. So that said, BBG is the big bad evil guy, and in the story happens that Jatayu, the younger brother, dies fighting against the BBG that is called Ravana in this story. And he was trying to have the protagonist named Rama save his wife from the BBG, but he dies in the process. The crew of helpers surrounding the protagonist was traveling through their destination, and they were talking about this event, the event where Jatayu died fighting Ravana. While they were walking on the side of a mountain, and fate, will, destiny wants that was the same mountain where Sampati was stuck in, and he was stuck because of because he fell from the skies so hard that he fell into this mountain and he's stuck inside the mountain. I will say again, they were very big birds. And he heard about his brother from the crew, and he was willing to help them. So they can not only save the protagonist's wife, but they can also avenge his brother, killing the BBG. And this encounter happened right before Sampati was about to kill himself. And because he wasn't able, and that's why why in this story there is hope, because he was about to kill himself because he wasn't able to see his brother again. And the reason why he was willing to end his life is because he was trying to save his brother from the sun, but after they fell, his brother never came after him trying to find him. So he thought, okay, since I'm without wings, I cannot fly, plus I'm stuck in this mountain. My brother has his wings, so 1, he died on the impact. 2, he died after he broke his wings. A predator or an enemy, a BBG, killed him. So why do I have to continue living? He was lost in a world. But after he knew his brother was alive, okay, he was dead, but after he knew his brother survived and died in an heroic deed, in an heroic act, he was alive again. He was rejuvenated, and he wanted to help the crew killing the BBG, and he was willing to help in any way he could. And how he helped them, he saw, I saw an image here, I'm sure there was an image here about it. Let me see. I saw it before. There was an image with a kind of golden spaceship. Yes, because Hindu texts are crazy. They talk about, yeah, there it is. That's it. Oh man. Let me click every time. Okay, I'm pulling up an article, probably something that it's not mine. I'm sorry, that's a store. You can see it, right? Yeah, it's gonna be visible. Okay, that's the scene, kind of. Probably this is Jatayu, but anyway. While Sampati was stuck in the mountain, he saw in the skies this golden cart, this golden carriage, this spaceship flying up in the skies, and he heard the protagonist's wife screaming the name of the protagonist. Rama, Rama, please help me, Rama, Rama. I've been kidnapped. I've been kept hostage, etc., etc., etc. And that's the moment where Sampati comes useful, because he sees the flying ship, he sees it goes in a direction, and he heard about Rama, Ravana, and the wife of the protagonist. So he was able to help the crew knowing where was the direction, because they were still searching for the BBG base, its layer. So, thanks to that, not only he helped them, but he completed his destiny that was predicted. I won't go on with the story because I'm losing too much time with this, but he completed its destiny. And thanks for this, his wings regrew. So not only he was able to help these people save another person, but his wings regrew thanks to a prophecy, a kind of prophecy. So he's still able to help them, even fighting now, because he can fly again. That's it. That's a story about hope, hubris, and redemption. I'm sure there are more stories that treat this same theme with kind of the same course of the events. Some full of hubris challenging the gods, in this case the sun, that's why Daedalus built a temple dedicated to Apollo, and being destroyed or punished in a way that changes their life and the life of their family forever. And that's one of the references I got, but if you have more references, go ahead, write it down in the comments, write in the chat. I will read it as soon as possible and we can comment it together. Because I'm talking a lot because I'm alone right now, but if anyone wants to have a literal chat about that argument, we can do it right now in the chat. No? I go on. I keep going, no matter what. Yeah, I'm a good singer. Yeah, the reason why I was talking about the retelling, talking about One Piece, the example you can see here is Oniganshima. Oniganshima is an ancient story of the Japanese mythology, and it talks about an isle full of demons, and the story of Momonosuke, because I don't remember if the name is the same. I think it's kind of different. It's not Momonosuke, but I can be wrong. It's Adventure of Momonosuke, a guy that have to develop a certain... he has to grow strong in the mind and in the body, and fight the demons on Oniganshima and free the people around from the menace of this Oni. That's why it's called Oniganshima. And the whole Wano arc in One Piece talks about this, and it's not the only one that talks about that has a retelling inside of it. Most of the things in One Piece are retelling inside other retellings, but I don't want to talk about that right now because we are losing too much time. We have no more time. Yeah, it's 9. But I want to at least structure the story. So now, what do we need? A theme. Oh, we have it. Okay, we have it. Yeah, we have hope that we can do this stream. We can complete it. Okay, I can do it with or without you. Anyway, we need, well, a BBG. Why not? Because a BBG can be a god, like the sun, for example. Can be a condition, like a strong wind. or could be a setting, the BBG. Could be a post-apocalyptic. I hope this is the way you write post-apocalyptic in English. I still can say it, so I hope it is. A post-apocalyptic world. Or a literal person. A guy. Yeah, BBGG. Then we need a punished protagonist with a tragic background due to their action. So punishment. You can comment in the chat if you have some suggestions. If you want to talk about a specific punishment, a specific BBG, a specific, not the team, because the team I want to be Hope, so this is the only thing that will stay here. But if you want to talk about more about this stuff, go on. I want to interact, honestly. And about interaction, let me check if there are any. Okay, yeah. The problem with YouTube is if I don't keep it open, I can't see it in real time. And I don't know if this is a problem that is about that invalidates anyone to see it in real time or only me on the preview. Honestly, I can check it out. Let's check it out. We have time, no? Let me talk about it, so let's hear it. Okay, I can go down with the the audio here. It's a bit high. Okay, I think that's better right now. I can even go down a little bit here. Yeah, I think that's better. So, anyway. Okay. I'm on. Okay. Just checking, guys. That's my first time. I want to be sure everything is going smooth. Like the time I was trying to start this stream. What is this? Visit nimlich-san coffee page. Yeah, I have a coffee page. I also technically have a Patreon and another page that I don't remember. Yeah, Fanbox, but they are kind of empty. I want to fill them with content whenever I add enough of enough things to edit, but not right now, not in this moment. I have to I have to switch on the light. I'll be back. The reason why I was sliding with my chair is because I have no pants on. It's really hot here. Okay, as I was saying, let's head back to that where I can see, well, yeah. Okay, I was saying, so we need a punishment for sure, and the punishment is the condition for which the character moves, or the reason why he is in that condition. So the punishment could be, if we still talking about the theme, that the character cannot have its fork and its knife. It cannot have them. So you have to eat without them, okay? And that could be, for example, in the case of Hope, the punishment could be straight up. You see the BBG, the punishment, they are aligned. So it can be fighting God, or going outside, that serves both for the strong wind of post-apocalyptic world, or don't follow a suggestion, and let's put it in brackets, in commas, because yeah, that was don't fight God. Yeah, that's a suggestion. Don't fight God. It's not an obvious thing. More in these stories, it's not always an obvious thing. There is a story told in a North American folklore that talks about a girl that gets pregnant by the wind. Yeah, the wind make her fly like a flag, while her mother tries to hold at her, and she was put pregnant by the wind because they were harvesting a mushroom, if I remember right, and her mother said, "You have to face south when you harvest mushroom. Don't ever face north." And she was so happy that she was with her mother that she faced north for a moment while she was picking up mushrooms, and the gods got mad and flew a strong wind. She was kind of flying away, and after she was saved by her mother, she was immediately pregnant. So a thing that you cannot predict, and a punishment that is not that aligned with the condition. And now, yeah, we can talk about the condition, because the condition, the first, the former and the latter condition, because let's say it's a conditions. Why? Because you can still have one condition in which you have the punishment, and this is the first condition where the character loses its utensils to eat. So bad, a good. The condition that is bad is the one that where the protagonist loses something that that aligns the punishment. The second condition is the one where the protagonist can redeem himself, can prove themselves to be worthy of redemption. So a lesson that can be learned at a point in the time comes when these two are aligned after the protagonist thinks, metabolized what happened. So, for example, the first condition could be the one that leads to the punishment. In the case of in both of the cases of Daedalus and Icarus and Sampati and Jatayu was flying too close to the sun. That is an obvious and metaphysic reason. The obvious reason is, wow, the sun is hot, don't you know? And it can melt rocks and it can burn your wings, don't you know? The second is a more, it's a less figurative thing. It's more like a metaphysic thing. That is, don't try to be like God. Only God can stay up like the sun. If you try to do that, you will be punished, and you will probably die. The second have to be one that leads to redemption. In the case of Daedalus, there wasn't that big of redemption, because in Greek mythology, drama is the leading force of the stories. So the death of the son, the father that survives the son, a kind of war parallelism where the young guys go to war to die when the fathers bury them. That's kind of the metaphor here, besides the God thing. So the only kind of redemption we can find here is the one that takes Daedalus and puts him in the building process of a temple dedicated to Apollo, like saying, I'm sorry Apollo, we're trying to fly too close to you. I'm not the one who did it, but my son did. He died, and now I'm sorry, I was checking it, and now I'm trying to apologize to you in this way. So it's a redemption based on sorrow, if you can say. On the other hand, the redemption of the Sampati kind of redemption is on another level, because he can redeem himself for his brother, like Daedalus did for his son, because Sampati haven't did anything wrong. He tried to save his brother, and he was the one that was punished. But his brother is the one at the end who was dead in an heroic attempt, but he died. On the other side, Sampati is the one who survived, and he wanted to make it worth for his brother, and choose to help the crew, and his wings regrew. So that's his redemption. Because the thing before was like he was about to kill himself, and there is another big cauldron of stories, definitions, and reasons why I can tell you this is view in a way that is not definitely bad in Hindu tradition, but as its reason why killing yourself. So take the soul from your body in a way that is not that hasn't a divine reason, a prophecy reason. It's kind of bad, because you can end up in the lower plane of existence, aka hell, and you can live in a lesser life form, like an animal, for example, or a rakshasa that is intelligent but at the same time is a beast. It's a monster, as described, like Ravana. So he doesn't have to kill himself, he had to survive in order to prove himself worthy to probably die in battle like his brother. His brother make his life worth. So that's why he can die. That's why if he chooses to help them, his wings will regrow. And that's what happened. So in this case, the condition that makes his redemption is the prophesized encounter with the crew. So it was already set for him, he had to choose what to do. That's why the wings regrow. And at the end, a lesson. And I've just told about the lesson right now. The lesson is, for example, eat with hands. It's not equal bad. Okay, probably always based on this thing I was going on. It's not that bad because not only animals use their mouth instead of forks and knives, or don't remember, and that's probably better, don't forget you are an animal too. So, and the lesson normally rewires with hope. So in this case, the hope I can eat again, even if I have to eat like an animal. Okay, that's the story of hope in this case. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about food because that's not what I want to do. So, let's write. We have to do a manga. Okay? So everything we said right now is just to warm up the engine. If we want to do a story, we have to write it. That's not always the case with mangas. So I don't want to stay that long in writing. I want to write and draw at the same time. I have only two hands, so I will at first write something and then we will draw. So let's write something. The title can wait because the title embodies the story. So at first we have to do the story, and before the story, like I was saying at the starting of the video, at the starting of the live, the character is the story is the character. So if we want to make a story, we have a character to base it on. Daedalus, best craftsman in the world, is held prisoner, is enslaved by Minos because he wants to build a architectural masterpiece, and for his genius he can save himself from the prison. The story stands up thanks to the fact that Daedalus is the best craftsman in the world. Same we can say about Sampati. They are deity kind birds, and the story about the wings that can grow stays can stand because they are fucking birds. That's all of it. So let's write a story, but first let's write a character. So title, maybe later. Let's do a bullet point. Yeah. Bullet point is the way. Where is my stuff? I wanted to talk about more stuff, but we have not that time. We have not that long to can do stuff together. If you hear my dog barking, it's because he's crazy. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. It was me, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of stupid because no one is watching, so I can do this. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, and more, I can do even this. Okay, the string is going. Nice. I wonder if I look it that way, it counts both. I'm not sure, but it can be, because I'm watching the stream, but I paused the video. So probably it's working. Yeah, Samsung has this cool feat that allows you to have multiple windows open. Okay. Okay. That's it. Okay. So we were saying, let's write a story. Yeah. The character. Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I've lost something. Okay, there it is. Let me see if I forgot to talk about something. Yeah. No, I haven't forgot anything. This is... Yep. Yeah. Kind of the same thing I was talking about. Okay, let's do this exercise. Let's write a character sheet. So the character sheet have to be composed of I have here a character sheet that has 32 elements. I don't want to do all the 32, but we need to do something. So first of all, name of the character. That's something interesting because the character has to have a name that characterize him or her or them, because sorry, it's too hot. I need to put my hair behind. Okay, because characters that has simple names like Bob, John, Piero, and Mario. These are names that doesn't say anything about the character, and there's nothing wrong if you in IRL are named like that. I'm not here judging you. My name is Nimlich, so my name is fucking stupid too. But the name of the character had to describe him some way. There are a lot of characters that have an hidden meaning in their names that you don't even know because the writer or the movie never talks about it. It's kind of an Easter egg, and if you are a gamer too, you know that Kojima doesn't play with that shit. every time there is a character that has a defined feature, he calls him with that defined feature. Roboman or video pop, things like that. That is a video that pops and a man that is kind of a robot. So you can go this way. That is the simple way. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing bad in doing so. Or you can go deeper, search for meanings, study a language from rock bottom, and knowing everything about that, or using your language with word tricks if it's permitted, and you can find the perfect alignment of things you want to include in the name of the protagonist. So if we want to talk about hope in our story, we can call our protagonist. Let's write some names. We don't have to choose now, but the first things that comes to mind are Happy, Hippo, we can go for alignment or for contrary. So Hope is the ficus. The ficus. Defied. Defi. Yeah, Defi. Defy. Defi. We are not that strong with names today. I'm kind of really tired. But well, we can go with yeah. Yeah, I go with Hippo. Yeah, because Hippo is simple. It's hope with E-N-O rewired. So Hippo is the name of our character. Let's highlight it. Then we have age. Age of our character can be let's say our character, it doesn't have, yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't have to be the real age of the character. For example, if any one of you know about Adventure Time, there is a character that is really old, like 1,000 years old, but the age is defined by their actions and by the reactions they have, and they seems 19 or 60 or everything else than 1,000, because no one knows what character does a person have when he eats more than 200 years old. So he doesn't have 1,000, so you have to guess the age from the behavior of the character, and so the age is what defines the character, not the actual age of it. So let's say this character is 15 years old. Then general physical description. Well, the general physical description of a character can be okay, let's say our character is human in appearance. What did I write? Human in appearance. Oh my god. Okay, he's human in appearance. Yeah, is tall. With grayish skin. Let's say is short. Like a dwarf. Grayish skin, we were saying. Big hands. Big hands and burly body. Hometown. Well, we can say his hometown is the underground, where most of the dwarves lives. His grayish pale skin, underground. Seems cool. Seems good. Type of home, neighborhood. We can skip this for now. Relationship status. We can say he is single. Current family background, other close relationships, relationship with men, with women, job, dress style, religion, attitude to religion, favorite pastmates, hobbies, favorite sports, favorite foods, strongest positive personality trait, strongest negative personality trait, sense of humor, temper, consideration of others, how the other people see him, her, opinion of himself or herself, other traits, especially those to be brought out in story, ambitions, philosophy of life, most important thing to know about this character, will readers like or dislike this character and why. Let's say we want to do the most important things that are the most important thing. And ambition, and will the readers like. Man, I'm so tired. I think I'll wrap it up here after we compile this. And we will say it's a, let's say, 5-page story. 5 to 10, let's say. 5 to 11 pages story. Manga story. So, most important thing about this character. Well, let's say his ambition is... Well, we have to talk about hope. So, if you want to talk about hope, his ambition must be kind of redemption of something. So, or maybe his ambition is what will drive him to the redemption arc, where he will change his ambition or change the aim on the same ambition. So, let's say the first ambition he has, it's, let's say he wants to kill the killer of his sister that happens to be a god, let's say. The most important thing about him that he doesn't know himself about him, that he is secretly the god's son. I know that's really easy to go first, but we have just to establish the key points. We can change them later, compiling the full sheet. Right now, the thing I want to do is set up the gears to make the story start. Will be likable? I will say, I don't know. I don't know if he will be likable, because he will do whatever it takes to reach his goal. So maybe not. Maybe he won't be likable, because most people will say yes, but you're a villain too. Yeah, it can be, but probably this is the way he interprets his path. And how he will redempt about himself doing bad stuff, we don't know. We don't know, maybe he will do that before the redemption arc, and then in the redemption arc he will succeed. And don't get me wrong, we can build a story like this in 5 to 11 pages, because we don't have to tell the whole story. Daedalus and Icarus is a whole story, but it can be told in 5 rows. The same we can say about Sampati. Sampati and Jatayu can... the whole background of Sampati and Jatayu is like 3 rows because it's they were flying too close to the sun. Jatayu was about to die. Sampati saved him, hanged him. They fall to earth. That's it. There is no why they were talking about their life in space after blah 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 blah. There is nothing like that. So we can build in 2 pages the if we want to do 5, we can build in 1 page the setting, in the second page the first condition, the first condition, in the third page the consequences of the condition, in the fourth and the fifth page the redemption arc and the epilogue. So that's it. We can do it in 5 pages. There is no and since the story is kind of easy, it's easiest to do that way, in 5 pages. So that's it, guys. I'm about to end the stream now. I'm quite cooked. This is my first time, and I thought I went okay. It went okay. I'm not that good at this stuff. I'm not that bad either. I don't know. I'm not allowed to say anything about that. I will watch the recording, and I will say to you if I'm bad or good. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for staying here, whoever stayed here, and see you in the next time. Bye.